Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to go ahead and go through the features and the current state of Adventure Portal and show off everything that's been changed and everything that you can do in it. I'm just gonna kind of do a general overview of the game. There we go. All right, let's run it in window mode. All right, first and foremost, you can create or join a game. Games are joined by name. There is no passwords. The only thing that you can do to make yours private is to select make a game private here, and it won't be listed. So it still exists, and you join it by typing in a name, but it just won't be publicly listed. So the names are the passwords, essentially. So let's create a name, create a game here. All right, I guess I'll go over the character side for the player, and we'll go to the DM second. So you start as an adventurer, which is a player. Only the way to be the DM is just to hit the select set as DM button right here, and you'll bounce up to DM, and everything over here will change once you do that. But let's stay as a player for now. Let's go ahead and create a new profile, and let's name it New Guy. All right, so let's create that. All right, so not much has changed since the early versions, except maybe some of the visuals here. But just like any character sheet, you fill up all your information here: class, race, background, alignment. You set your proficiency, and then you set all your abilities, and then you set your proficiencies in those abilities, and then you set your proficiencies in different skills. And it should add all this for you, so you don't have to type in everything. 15, maximum 15, 1D, 10. Let's just make stuff up here. Initiative of 2, and then speed of 30. Okay, so, and then the character sheet basically has a bunch of note fields that you can type in whatever you want. Here's the equipment tab. It has more of the same. You just punch in whatever information you want to enter. It's all up to you. The character sheet, all this is the same. You just type in information as you want it, except for your token size. This determines how big your token is on the battle map. And then when other people click on your token, this is what you look like when they click on your token. There'll be a little description on the token, and this is what it'll say, whatever's in this box. And that's basically it. You got your spells tab, and you can type in all your spells, and then maybe list out what the spells do. That's it for the character sheet. It's pretty straightforward. It's just a data collection repository, if you will. It auto saves, and you can load and create new with the 2 buttons up here. The file, oh goodness. The file name is right here, and your character name is, well, let's give me a character name. Let's be Bob the Bandit. So as soon as you hit enter on that, your character is now Bob the Bandit, and all your information is filled out right here. Some basic information is listed on your tag. And that's basically how players work. And to operate your player, all you do is right-click on the game grid, which is right here in the middle, and your character will appear there, and you right-click anywhere on the screen to move them. Anyway, I'll get to that later, and I'll show you how to do that. All right, so that's basically the character sheet. Now let's go to set as DM. Now we are the DM, so let's make a new DM profile. New DM. All right, boom. All right, so now you're a DM, and now you have an initiative tracker, lots of input fields, just like the character sheet will be Mr. DM, and oh, no, I'm sorry, that's the campaign name. Mr. DM, and this is my campaign. So there we go. Your campaign is listed at the top. So as soon as you load your DM profile, everybody sees what campaign you're running. So consider each DM profile a individual campaign, and you can load as many campaigns or profiles as you want. There's the main tab. It has your initiative tracker, and I'll show you how that works here in a minute. You have your notes page. These are just input fields for whatever you want to write. Sound effects and ambience. Now these represent 3 different speakers that you have over in the world. Sound effects are you set your volume and you just click on whatever you want to yeah, you can fire these off at any moment, and all the players will hear it. If you want to test volume and find out which what sound you want to use, you can uncheck send to players, and you can find the one that looks that sounds the best, and then once you got it picked, you can send to players, and now you can that's the one. And they can all hear it, and you set the volume on their screen, on their side. Now, the ambience, these are exactly the same as the sound effects, except these loop. These don't stop playing. So, gonna have a battle in the background and some ominous music. And there's, of course, the stop button. So these are meant to just add ambience and mood to the story as you're telling it, and that's about it. And there's going to be a lot more of these in later versions. I'm keeping these lists small for compiling reasons, but you can fill these up and have as many sounds. There will be many more sounds to come, in other words. All right, so that is it for the 2 sound tabs. That's the note tab, and there's the main tab. All right, so the battle map. The battle map is where all the tokens go. So let's create a new battle map. We'll call it New Battle. And boom, create. All right, so here's our battle map. There is, you can set your textures to some pre-mades that I'm including with the software, or you can go to the internet and let's see, let's pull up the internet. Let's go to RPG Battle Maps and go to Images, and we can select a map that we want. This is a cool one, and copy image address, and then just Control V, paste it in this, and there you go. You can set the say the image is a square, so if the original image was not a square, you can fix its how it's stretched, and then change its offset like so, and then give it a name. Let's go grassy field, and then hit save, and now you got grassy field. You can set it, and now you have a grassy field. So, and then you set the scale. See, the scale is to match the grid. The grid is static, and you change the map behind it to match whatever scale you want. So yeah, so consider, I always consider each grid square to be about 5 feet. So match the grid or the background to your preference. All right, so now that we have a map background, let's show some of the world to the players. Right now, all they see is a black screen. So I'm going to go to Edit Shroud, and I'm going to left click to reveal the world, and I'm going to right click to put it back. That's how you work the shroud, and you can change your brush size to 1, 3, or 5. 5 is much larger, and you can show the world to the players. All right, now let's give them something to interact with. So here's the token library. You can add new tokens with the add button. You can select them, edit them, fill out all their information. You can select their avatar here by clicking on the image. And these are web images that I've saved. Let's do this guy right here. Let's call him Killer Orc. And you can set all this information just like the character sheet. Kills things, and he's huge. He's a big guy. So there, that's done. So now we can just left click and place Killer Orc into the world, and let's give him a friend. Let's give him the small orc, and let's make this guy a generic humanoid. I think orcs are humanoids, so let's give him a humanoid, generic. And we'll put he's going to be small. So there we go. He's got a small buddy. So that gives you an indicate, or that shows you the size differences. And let's actually do several of these small orcs. All right. So you can set their show name, show status on these guys. Show name, show status, and you can enter their status here. So there you go. That shows a little bit of information on them. And you place them by selecting a tag in the library, and then left clicking on the screen will make it will instantiate that thing over and over and over. And then once you select one of these on the map, you right click to move them. And that's roughly how that works. So there you go. Then you have all this stuff, their information. All players will see this. It all gets updated immediately on everybody's screen. And that's roughly it for the tokens. Players, when they set their tokens down, the DM does not have all this information on player tokens. All the DM sees is the center screen when the DM clicks on a player token. The only thing that a DM can do to a player token is remove it with the remove button. That's the only thing that they have on players. Alright, so I'm going to show you how the initiative tracker works. Alright, so when you have a couple of players, let's just stick a token in here as a player. I don't have anybody connected, so we're just going to fib one. This will be a player. And we'll give them a face. There we go. And the player will be right here. Alright, so this is the player. Let's show name and status. There we go. So the player rolls up on this pack of orcs, and now an encounter begins. So you would click on Add Tokens to the tracker, and you would select everybody who you want to be on the list. And once you have everybody listed, and now once they're in the list, you can select them through the list. So this changes your selection on the map. And this way you can locate and track everybody that's in the roll. So once they're all selected, you can hit roll for initiative, and it will roll 20-sided dice for each one and display it here, and also it will sort them from top to bottom. And that's it. You just select and click roll. If it's a player, they will get a prompt. A little pop-up will show on their screen, and they'll just hit roll or add their initiative. They'll type in whatever initiative they had, and then they'll hit roll, and their rolls will be public here on the log. And once they roll, you'll get the result, and it'll auto sort their result in with the group. So you'll have a list of players and NPCs and all their results all stacked on the log here. And to re-roll, all you do is you can just clear the list and start over. So you can only roll those guys and hit roll. So there you go. And you can also force some numbers. So small orc, let's just say you have some special condition and you want him to have a bonus or be first in line. So you can give him a roll of 50, whatever. He goes to the top. So there you go. And that is it for the initiative tracker. It's pretty simple and it's real fast. Anyway. That's it for initiative tracker. Now, let's check out one thing I didn't talk about earlier, and that's the player avatars. So let's say player here. Let's say the DM wants to change their avatar. Well, it's just like the maps. You can select some avatar images that come with the game or come with Adventure Portal, or you can import whatever you want from the web, and those work just like the map. Everything, maps, tokens, player profiles, DM profiles, you can each one of those can be, the images and avatars for them can be imported from the internet. That's a new feature I just finished, and it's pretty good. There might be a couple of bugs with it. There's a couple of things I want to refine about it, but other than that, it's working pretty good. Oh, one more thing. All players, now you can't see it here, but all players can click this color bar and set their own personal identifier color that'll be attached to their token. So player tokens will look exactly like NPC tokens, except their name won't be in white. It'll be one of the colors they select. So that's what differentiates players from NPCs. All right, so that's it for the avatars. All right, a couple of small features that I wanted to show real quick was that when you hit escape, you have audio levels, and these are all saved to your computer, and you can adjust the soundboard, sound effects, ambience, and music according to whatever is comfortable for you, because the DM sets their volume, but if it's too loud or too quiet, you can do further adjustments on the client side. And then, of course, your master volume, which collectively raises and lowers all of them. The UI sounds are the clicks and ticks of receiving messages and the dice log and all those little small sounds. And then the menu music is the sound you hear at the very beginning of the game. So I basically just gave the player a volume slider for everything. So that's that. And now I have a little window for controls, and there's a couple more things I need to add to this. But this is going to be just a general listing of how to operate the game. And that's it for the menu so far. Now I've showed you the add or remove shroud. So there's that. And now we're going to go to add remove effects, and it works exactly like the shroud, except it places effects on the battle map. So there's different looks to them. And these paint, and they're added and removed with left click, right click, just like the shroud. And you can set how many cells. You can do one. You can set the color. And these indicate areas of effect, spells, hazards, whatever you want. It's a sandbox. So whatever you want to do with these, that's what they're there for. All right. Let's do some yellow waves. A lot of yellow waves. There we go. Okay, so next is the player blackout. So say the DM wants to organize and move things around, and manage and get things ready for an encounter, or for whatever reason they're doing some behind the scenes work. You can black out the players to where they see nothing but adventure portal, please wait, or standby, and they don't see you working. And that way it's kind of an intermission screen for them. And then once you're ready, you can click show map, and then they see the encounter map once again. And that's how that works. So that's roughly how the game right now. It's kind of light on features. I'm working on more every day, and it's pretty stable. We've had a handful of pretty successful play tests. I'm looking forward to getting some public play tests started and to see what everybody thinks. That is it for now, and I'll try to have another update here in a week or so, and hopefully I've got more to show off. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.